Welcome to Hibernate tutorial. So in our previous tutorial we have covered what is HCQL Hibernate Criteria Query Language. So here we will see with the help of an example how we can use this HCQL in our program. So before we start our demo, we will see in different scenario where we can use this HCQL. So first example is, suppose with the help of criteria you want to select all the records. Then in this case what we can do, we will create a criteria from the session create criteria, and here we will pass our user class here, and in the user class we will not pass any argument here. We simply select the list. We will call the c.list method of the criteria, and we will receive the results from the database. Then after that, if we want to filter our records, suppose we want to filter the records, we want the records from 10 to 20 or from 0 to 5. So on the basis of this set first result or set maximum result, we can filter our criteria. After that, suppose we want to use the restriction, and we are using restriction GT greater than, whose salary is greater than 10,000. So those record we will select. So here we can pass this, we can add restriction to the criteria, and we can get the list of the records. Then after that, suppose we want to apply order. We want all the records on the basis of our salary or order by salary. So in that case we can add order to the criteria, and we can get all the records. And finally, suppose we want to select a particular columns from the database, so we can pass that thing in the projection. We can pass the projection to, we can add this projection to the criteria. So these are the different scenario which we will cover here. So in our previous examples we have a user entity in which we have 3 fields. So what we will do, we will add 2 more fields here: private email or private salary, int salary, and private int age. So these are 2 more field we want to add. Copy, paste, and we will create the name with salary and age in the database. So here what we will do, we have to create the setters and getters. Sources, setters and getters, select both, and OK. So we have the setters and getters of this user entity. So here in main.java, what we will do, suppose we want to add our records into the database. First we will add the records. Right now we do not have this, we do not have a user table in the database. So what we will do, we will create the records in the database. So as in the property file we are using this dhm to ddl dot auto is update, so it will create our records in the database. So here what we need the user. We will create the user object, and here user dot set age. So age is 25. User dot set username is suppose telcomma, and user dot set password is suppose tel comma 123. After that, username dot set salary is suppose 11,000. So let's after that what we will do, we will use session dot persist user. Then we have committed the transaction and close the session. So first what we will do, we will create the records in the database. So we will run as Java application. So here in the console you can see that it has inserted the record into the database. So let's see. So here it has created the table user. So select star from user. So here you can see the records. So what we'll do, we will create one more records, 26 test 1 2 3, and salt is 1100. So let's run this program again. And let's check in the database. So we have 2 records and one more record, 20 ABC, and then we have password is APC 123 and salary is 12,000. So let's save this record as well. So here in the database you can see that it has inserted the record, and so in the database we have 3 records. And now what we will do, we will use so we will remove this part. So we have the session, and what we need, we have to create the object of the criteria. So here in the criteria we will pass the this user class, and then we will retrieve all the records. So let's see what we will do. We will create the object of the criteria. So we have this Hibernate criteria. We will use criteria is equal to session dot create criteria. So here we have persistent classes user dot class. So we have created the object of the criteria, and what we will do, we need the list of the user, and here we have users is equal to criteria dot list. So here we have the records list of the users. Now we will display this list. So how we will display, we will use for each and user users, then we have sysout, and we will write it 5 times or 4 times. Then we have use dot get username, then we have u dot get password, then we have u dot get salary, then we have u dot get age, and after that we will just print the stars to distinguish the records. So here let's see how it will retrieve this from the database. So here you can see that it has filtered all the 3 records from the database. So here we have first record, second record, and third record. So here with the help of criteria we have select all the records from the database. So in our next tutorial what we will do, we will cover all other criteria filtration part. So